Welcome back, everyone, to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All. We're doing the final case, and we're doing the first day of court. Let's do this thing. Trial 1. Forgot to put the chat on the phone. March 22nd, 9:47 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Beep. Oh, hold on a second, my volume's really high. That means the game volume's really high. I'll lumber the volume really quick. Okay, this is the dude voice. Adrian did it, dude! Huh. Dude, Adrian did it? That's what it looks like. Dude, no way, that woman couldn't do anything like that. Is that the voice? In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. Mountain of evidence, dude? I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. What? Got the chat on the phone. Please, Mr. Lawyer Dude, like I said yesterday. I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright, dude? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that, dude. I understand. Well, it's almost time. Okay, who's this? Oh, Mia's here to help. Mia! We must get a complete acquittal today. I know. I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. Beep, 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 beep. It's him! Beep. This is right. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial. Maya, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Huh? Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For myself, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give me? You'll figure it out once the trial opens, even if you don't like my gift. I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please. Wait! The kidnapper sent me a present? Mr. Lawyer Dude? Who was that? No one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything. Dude, did your nose just get longer? Interesting. March 22nd, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 3. Here we go. Huh? Who's the prosecutor? Court is now in session for the trial of Matt on guard. Are the prosecution and defense ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. Is there a ninja here? I say, Mr. Knight, what happened to Miss Von Karma? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor. Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Prosecutor Von Karma has. This morning, Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. Oh my god, that's the present? What? Shot? Somehow, I think this is the present that man was talking about. His present? Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she disappeared, this would be to your advantage. This is totally insane! Miss Von Karma, is she alright? I don't have that answer. Edgeworth. She's alive and in stable condition. That's good. You're... I thought he'd show up. Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Francesca Von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready. Naturally. Ah, great. Son of a balls! Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matangard. The court acknowledges the prosecution. Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Hey guys, how's it? Oh Jesus. Witness, your name and occupation. My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct. For now. For now? After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir. Detective Gumshoe? The prosecution? The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Can't let down my boyfriend. Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. It's drugs! Okay, bare facts of the case. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Canita, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the case of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room? Yes, sir. Both the victim and defendant went alone to their rooms, sir. I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. My voice is a little different, isn't it? Wonder why. Bare facts of the case. Let's try again. The murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award ceremony, sir. How's it going, pal? How's it going? Okay, let's see if I got it. Okay, hold it. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, pal. The ceremony started at 6 p.m. It ended around 8 p.m. and then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later. And that's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say, the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period. Please continue with your testimony, Detective. The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah. Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about? She's the defendant Matangard's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir. Ah, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence. When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. on guard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir. I see, and that's when she found the victim's body. The cause of death, wasn't that because Mr. Canita was stabbed in the chest? Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now real press attention would be drawn here, to this bandana. Banana? His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir. Oh, yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana. Then what about the knife? It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death. Oh, he was strangle-angled, okay. We have a crafty murder on our hands here. Autopsy report added to the court record. At first we thought there was some suspicion about the empty guitar case. And why did you think that? Because it was empty, pal. The Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that? We thought of that too, but the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. Only the victims, huh? I see. So much for my theory then. They could have gloves. They could have gloves. Or Carnita already had it open. What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case? The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night. Well then, where was it? The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Carnita, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir. So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case? Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all. How would you not notice the guitar's in there? Like, really? I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt on guard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him? Here it comes! Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing. Very well. Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter. Yes, sir. Why arrest on guard? Matt on guard and Mon Carnita were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's button. It was ripped off the ninja costume and is found in Matt and Mr. On Guard's hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant bought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing. It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. Sticky? Yeah. Alright. And there's his button. That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And is this button also covered in blood? Yes, and we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir. What? Well, why wouldn't it be, right? All this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it? Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right? Huh! I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. You can press as hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. Why rest on guard? Alright. But in terms of popularity, Mr. On Guard won, did he not? Yeah, but you know what's ironic, pal? Juan Carnita was always one step ahead, Juan Carnita was always one step behind Mr. On Guard in everything. This year it seemed like he'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown. But Mr. Carnita lost the Grand Prix in the end. That is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing. Wait, just 1 second here. Mr. On Guard was beating Mr. Khalid in the popularity polls. Well, yeah, I guess, but... Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all. I quite agree. Well, Detective... it's not, well, I guess you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired. No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. That's, I look forward to your pension negotiations. No. No, Detective. Let's continue with the testimony. No. Not my poor pension, too. Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you proceed. Yes, sir. We can talk about my pension later, sir. What about what I was saying? Hello? Anyone? Do you have any proof that button belonged to the victim? Huh? I don't get you, pal. Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off of the Jammin' Ninja's costume. Huh? But can't you tell by just looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it. Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterward. But Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir. Alright, I knew it. Had to be this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in. Thread. Huh? The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread to the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match. Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal. Ugh. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. It was ripped off the ninja cut. Oh wait, read that already. When was this button found? Pretty soon after the body was found. We rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Kaneda. And then we did a search on them all. That's when we found the button. So it was almost immediately after the murder. The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks. Unlike some people. Hey! What is he trying to say about me here? I was with a little girl. How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife? Huh? What do you mean, pal? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand? Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that. I can't believe the bumbling of this department. Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony, right? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There's no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder. So is the defendant the owner of this knife, then? That's not good. There is no way this was a premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife. Sorry, pal. This isn't just some pocket knife. It's not really useful for anything, and you can't just walk around with it either. Well, this is not good. If the prosecution can prove it was a premeditated murder, we're done for. Phoenix. Yes? There's something very interesting about what the detective just said now. Think carefully before it's too late. A button covered in the victim's blood, and a knife with unguarded fingerprints. Be grateful if the judge were more rash. He'd have already pounded his gavel in closing. We're still in a world of trouble. Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be. Okay, Phoenix. Alright, need to pause! Okay. Alright, here we go. Beep. But in terms of popularity, Mr. Oh, I already did this. Okay, we gotta find the thing. Okay. Get back to the end. I forgot what they were talking about. The button covered in the victim's blood and knife with on guard's fingerprints. Be grateful. If the judge were rash, he would have already closed it. We're still in a world of trouble. Must find the enemy's weaknesses. Alright. How did he know he bought the knife? It's a Gatewater knife, isn't it? So... Alright, scum save. Here we go! Wait a second! What? So the basis of your argument is that this was a premeditated murder. Is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand? That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Yeah, it's the freaking knife for the hotel. Huh? Take a good look at the handle of this knife and you'll know what I'm talking about. Huh? It has a Gatewater seal set onto the handle. Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before. That's the name of the hotel! The Gatewater Hotel! Uh-oh. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel! Which means this murder was not premeditated! Oh. Yes, that is very true. This is a very big... But what is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? Music change! I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There's no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough to not realize this. But I didn't know. Oh. Ooh. Ah, poor Gumshoe. The question is, where did this knife come from? Well, why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Konita's room. No, it's from the food plate. Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. The victim ate her last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table. Yep, there's a knife and a fork. There's a knife and a fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt on guard. There it is, right there. Especially what was on the table of his... Especially what was on top of his table. Yup. There's something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife? But there's two plates. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints. And while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt on guard's knife was missing. Ah! Mr. On guard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder. Amazing, Mr. Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliant... oh my god, this word. A brilliant... Brilliant. Brilliantly. A brilliantly Clear deduction. It seems like Edgeworth had this plan from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it. A murder weapon with fingerprints, and a button with the victim's costume. From the victim's costume. There's quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court. Evidence not yet shown? He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright? Well... Phoenix, the judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here, that gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat. Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court? Yeah? There's one. One piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see. Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one. What the judge is saying, right, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here. If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us. Oh! Oh, snap! Now then, what is this important evidence that you must show to the court? Wine glass? We're just gonna save the balls out of this. This is a wine glass, is it not? Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. This scene is a mess because the victim struggled against his assailant. The vase is broken, his makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser. Very well, I see your point. However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass. What the balls? This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you all have to say? Well, yes, it is a little peculiar. Yes it is, isn't it? I thought it was. You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth? What is it, Your Honor? Your opinion. You don't need my opinion. Because there is no special meaning to that glass. What? It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. He could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright. Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? There's no way! If I appear weak here, the trial is over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point this with certainty. They just might fall for it, if you're thought-provoking enough. Okay, buddy. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table. You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim? There's no way he has any. He was just bluffing. Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have this evidence to support it. What? You're not thinking hard enough today, Mr. Wright. Why'd I say Mr.? Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice? Then, Of course it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints. Fingerprints? There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass. Only one? Well, whose were they? They were not the victims nor the defendants, rather, they're one of Adrian Andrews. What? Wine glass, okay. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright? Ugh, I can't believe I fell into another trap. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Karira. Upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser. What you just said makes a lot of sense. Not really, because who says she drinks that? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Now do you see, right? You can't change any part of my scenario, as it explains everything all too well. I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover. Oh, wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from. Another witness? Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? That was the wrong voice, by the way. Ah! Oldbag! Forgot about her! Forgot about Oldbag! Just like Dre. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Meh. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Ooh. Gotcha! I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier. Oh, Edgy boy, it's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me. I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet? It was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand. I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime. Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know. Oof. Shush! I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps! Yes, madam. No. Please, by all means, interrupt her. Please. Anyway, witness, your testimony, please. It's true what they say that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with? The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag? It was a great job being able to see my dear Yuan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle. You mean you are a fan of the victim? Look, everyone is crazy over that on guard, saying he's a cute, in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Carrera. But those two were the same age. Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night. Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder. Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. Please, no. What you witnessed? Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out for the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was on guard. Matt on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. Okay.
So Mr. Engard came out of the victim's room.
See? It has to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Knight, you may begin your cross-examination.
Okay. Alright. I should lower the game more. No, I can't. We're in the middle of recording. Next time I'll lower it. Miss Oldbag, what was your post on that night? The lobby. I was supposed to help set up that stage for that trifling show. But I refused to help. I'll have you know, it was that lead-headed samurai show. Heh, I even took out a few of the nails. Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on. Besides, that manager of the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little. And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door? Something you were interested in? And just what was that? It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and Juan. Ah, and Edgy, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in?
I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip? If this has something to do with the case, then you can append it to your testimony. It looks like we shouldn't force it right now.
And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time?
Yes. I'm quite impressive, but... Oh, then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Trinita's room? I have no idea! I wasn't born so I could count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not recorded in the report.
In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct? Oh, I lost my voice there. Who in the world was that? I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Juan's room. It was... He was...
Yes, he was...
Ah, I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud. Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Francesca's whip right about now. Well, I guess I can tell you, since he was such a bad boy anyway. You saw my client? Are you sure about that? Yes, sir. Really? Annoying brat! When I say I saw someone, I saw that person! Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a mess like last year, I should delve into this a bit further. What were the person's clothes? Please tell the court about the person's clothes in more detail. What a troublesome man you are, really, as if something like that matters. But it does. Now what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing. What thing? That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket. Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center too. That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men. They really get women interested? It looks dumb. Right.
So, Mr. Knight, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way?
It's his clothing, I'll scum save. It was very important. Of course it was important, Your Honor.
Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of the testimony was important.
Don't you see it, Edgeworth?
Hmm?
Your Honor, I request that the witness, or the witness, request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony.
I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright, witness, please.
Ah, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must. He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show.
Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket?
What do you think? Not like I've seen him in anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it.
She is so sure of herself that it's to the point of self-absorption.
She may not remember things or be mistaken here. She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying.
That's bad for us, really bad.
But that's how the human mind is. It also has the tendency to jump off topic. She strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time, too. Hasn't she? But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right?
That's because you're not the one who has to question her. I'll be honest, I got no freaking clue. What about her? The woman who found the body? Nah, that's the wrong spot to put it. Okay, let's see here. No, can't put it there. Maybe you can't do anything about that yet. I'm lost right now. I am absolutely freaking lost. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Alright, he's supposed to be in his Hakama, so if he's in his red jacket, he's not wearing his Hakama thing. Right. Miss Oldbag.
What? Don't say my name for no reason.
You know what this is?
Ah! It's the button number 2 on the Jammin' Ninja's costume.
Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance.
Give it here! Give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this.
Wow, she really is a die-hard fan to want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. Unguard's body during a full body search.
See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was that rascal on guard.
It was caught up in the pleats of his Nickel Samurai Hakama pants.
See? See? On guard isn't the Nickel Samurai.
Witness? Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination. But just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt on guard, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
Does it, Ah, I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress, then maybe you should, but instead I have to put up with wearing this ridiculous outfit. Something's hideous, right? I had a tape recorder stuck on my chest. It's heavy, so heavy, I wish I would go to switch the CDs years ago. Do you laugh? All these kids would understand? Now take a look in the mirror. Your clothes are just about as interesting as documentary on curling. You should take a different...
Now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Unguard, the man, but Mr. Unguard, the Nickel Samurai.
But when you think about it, they're really one and the same anyway.
Miss Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about.
Edgy Poo, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth thinking about. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. No. Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
Alright, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you.
Who I saw?
The Nickel Samurai, apparently.
On guard. Yes, now I remember. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. It was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to the post-ceremony stage right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan.
But he's like, I don't even know about that post-conference, dude. Ah, I knew it. I knew you'd say he was inside that costume! What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy, thinking such rude things. But the possibility does exist. Ah, you youngins today. I told you there's no way it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth. At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago.
Mr. Knight, you may cross-examine the witness.
Do I have to? Must I? Must I? Alright, here we go.
Would you please get on with your testimony?
Ha! Watch your language, young man. What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything. If you keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs.
What?
A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's the Nickel Samurai.
She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears. Mr. Edgeworth, can you please do something about this racket?
Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts. Okay! You promised, right? Also, that's a euphemism, right? Right?
Right. I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date.
Remind me to send you a thank you note later, too, Edgeworth, old chum. The Nickel Samurai, that's right. Okay.
Be a little more careful with Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not?
Not too long ago? Then let me ask you this. When you were itty-bitty, what was your grand dream?
Huh?
What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper?
My dream, huh? Well, I wanted to be a Judge Wagner. Hero of the public court, so what? You want to be Judge Wagner? Oh my god. The People's Court. Ding, ding, ding. I actually can't remember the theme for that right now.
See? And look where you are now! You're not Judge Wagner!
We're sure it's Wagner, isn't it? Or Wapner?
Not Judge Wagner! Are you? Are you? Well, what I said earlier, who puts any weight into things like that? And now is everything. I can't be held responsible for the past.
Since when did court become theatrics over testimony?
All that matters is that man was inside the costume. Isn't that enough?
No. And why would that be?
That way, no one could see his face, of course.
But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more.
You are such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say.
Isn't that what you're always doing to me?
I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume.
Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show?
Well, all the contestants were supposed to go out on stage in a friendly gesture thing.
And that included the Jammin' Ninja.
Of course it included him. That's why when On Guard came out of dear Juan's room, I didn't give a second thought.
I see.
Well, anyway.
So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai?
As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning?
Can I throw in the towel yet?
You don't need to think too hard on this one.
Huh?
There's a contradiction in her testimony. It's sitting in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us. Well, I had to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. Okay. Save. Okay, so what do we got? I'm going down the line. I've got no... Wait, I don't get... I got no clue right now. I shouldn't have even had to do those. The knife? The knife? You mentioned the stabbing. Alright, let's go. Please take a look at this. Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work. No, that's not my intention at all. That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct? Your Honor, you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case? You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. The gloves on the outfit. Is that what you're driving at? That's exactly what I'm driving at. What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving? If Mr. Edgeworth is really... If Mr. On Guard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife, except when he was eating, so crap. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off. True. Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? He probably took his gloves off before beginning the stabbing. And why would he do something like that? To leave his fingerprints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that. However, there's one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At the time, the defendant had no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that the defendant and the victim had bad blood between them. Yes, I have heard of that. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Miss Edgeworth's theory? Let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with this theory? There's a contradiction! This theory contradicts something in the earlier testimony. What are you babbling about? Now, for argument's sake, let's just suppose Mr. Edgeworth was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. There's the knife again. This knife, this was used by Mr. On Guard at dinner. Yes, we did establish that. Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Miss Akarita. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intention to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Right. Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. Balls. And one more thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us. Order! Order! Order, I say! Order in the court! Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing? The frame, Matt On Guard. It's to frame my client, Mr. On Guard, of course. To frame? Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one?
One is it never not framing? But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on the knife.
Witness?
Looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy?
Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Unguard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV? But I mean, I can't really do anything about that. Look, I was waiting around in front of the doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure.
She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai.
Alright then, who were you waiting for then? That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Carita, am I correct, witness?
The way you think, you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of?
The old bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room, but it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Carita. Maybe, Phoenix. Maybe the old bag was waiting around for that person. If that's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Oldbag? You were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Tabloids.
Who is this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Unguard's manager.
But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room?
It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor.
This is... I see.
Are you reading the jumble, sir? The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing.
And this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's...
Adrian Andrews, without a doubt the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine, I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff.
Witness? What in the world are you...
Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. Got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course.
But what for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here?
I really don't want to do this. However, I simply cannot let this point slide.
I see. Very well then, witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready. This is going to take the wind out of your young'uns. I'm sure we're all capable of handling this, really. It's not like we're 10 years old. Problem! My voice had basically 2-hour break. Let's see how this goes. That Engard is one evil, evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
Everyone knows now. The defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court.
What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant? Never heard that one before.
Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person?
We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip. That was a different voice.
But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim.
So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now. That's right. Unguard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth. Well, as the old saying goes, you've got to burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. I feel like the first one isn't true, like an actual saying, and this one, Kenny Loggins, seriously? Alright, let's go. Let's go, old man who wrote this game. Secret information. Press! How evil! Is it press? You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander.
But it's true! That woman wasn't getting intimate with poor Juan. Look, it says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, Miss AA.
But the name of the magazine this came from is Gossip Land.
What? Are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies? What do you know? I suppose next you'll swear to me that the news is 100% truth.
It's supposed to be, but Fox happened.
Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip.
Oh, okay, being unfair, Fox sometimes tells truth, very rarely does it. But muckraking has always existed, for at least for 1 or 2 centuries, but who knows, even older, maybe. Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Knight. Discriminate? When did I do anything like that?
Anyway, on God will never get to me to say touche.
Yay. A scandal? What do you mean by that?
You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days?
No, I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much.
Well, that on God thought he could own a monopoly on popularity.
Okay. You don't have any proof that Mr. On Guard did any such thing.
You must be suffering from shock, the shock of hearing the truth. And now since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right.
You're right, I can't do anything. But boy, do I wish I could do something about you.
Alright then, Sonny, show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that On Guard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan?
Alright, let's try it. I'm not going to let you push me around that easily.
There's many a man who've said those exact words and paid dearly for them.
Maybe you should brace yourself this time. Here's my proof that On Guard did not hold any ill will towards the victim.
I don't actually have an answer here, do I?
I don't. Just present himself. There's nothing. Is
that it? You can take it from here, Edgy Poo.
What are you handing it over to me for?
I want you to give that jaggedy-headed baboon boy a message for me, please. Damn it, no matter what he does, the only thing he's good at is failing.
What she said, right? Or should I say, baboon boy? Yes, I agree this isn't much of a piece of evidence, baboon boy. Keeping that. Did I just gain a new nickname here?
And you're lecturing me about saying things without proof. You've just given me a free pass to say whatever I want, silly boy.
Me and my big mouth.
That's the way the cookie crumbles, for you anyway.
That's why I was worth so little. So what do you mean by I took action?
Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson. Something you young'uns need.
You are going to teach her a good lesson?
I was going to make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun. Like this!
No! Stop!
Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night.
I thought she discovered the body. Okay, wait, she discovered the body, I thought. Wait! What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this secret information?
Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drill a hole into my brain, you'll never find out.
How in the world did that old bat get such a secret piece of information? Present evidence. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Oldbag?
Well, why are you looking at me like that? Stop that!
Witness. I'm sad to say it, but this is how you found out the secret, isn't it? What? You call that proof? It looks more like proof of spite towards the witness. If you have nothing to back up your claims, then they are no more valid than gossip. Objection sustained.
What? What?
Witness, please feel free to ignore the defense's gesture of ill will and continue.
Okie dokie. See, nothing can get me down.
Great! That did nothing but set me back a few minutes of my life.
Sounds like just another tidbit of gossip, doesn't it? But you can't just ignore it either. It makes your client look bad either way.
Well, I don't think I heard anything really out of the ordinary just now.
There has to be something we can catch her on.
Yeah, and when I find it, I'm going to press the heck out of it. Alright, okay, go for it. Fourth one. Here. Oh, fifth one. Alright, let's see here. Let's press further again. If you don't be a good girl and tell me where you got this secret information, you won't get to go home today.
Edgy boy, what are you doing? Help me.
Eh? What do I have to do with this?
Just do this for me. You'll get your reward.
I don't want your reward, but you don't leave me with much of a choice. The witness could have gotten her information from anywhere. It's even possible that it was spontaneously made up inside the witness's head. And he lectures me on reckless blabbering. And he lectures me on witness and he lectures me on reckless blabbering? As long as we don't know where the information came from. It's quite a waste of time to focus on this line of questioning. Where did Oldback get her inside information? There has to be something I can use to figure it out. Okay, I got, let's try this. Press. Let's do this. Present evidence. Did she take Lotta's camera? There it is! The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart. Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl. By the way, it's Jinx's favorite character. She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written onto herself. She reported such a thing? On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her outrageous impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What? Outrageous ideas, you say?
No, I said impressions.
Then everything written on this piece of paper is completely meaningless.
Ah, that's it. That's the note.
No, you see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy, yes.
Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note?
I'm a huge fan of wands, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil Ungod. She said so herself. Ungod, I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Veggie Boo! You believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
You really should come up. You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine.
That's a different voice, isn't it?
Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just once.
She looks like she's really sorry. Can I forgive her? Never! If I let her up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness! You said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct? Is this stole? Why don't you listen more carefully? I got saliva in my throat. This is stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible lonely trash can, that's all. You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it. Whoa, he cursed. Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again? Miss Oldbag. I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night. The camera. Miss Oldbag. That note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it?
A camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something about, like, my sweetest 1600 camera disappeared on me.
Why, witness!
What is it, Gramps? If you have the note, then it's only logical that you have the camera, too. Gah! Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for? Ah, that's... What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know? I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and borrow things from people.
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said... Slime Bag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things.
Bailiff, check this camera's photos. Hurry. You must examine them at once.
We continued? Nope. Alright.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have?
There's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Why is my voice changed for Edgeworth and I can't remember my old voice? I gotta do that a bit and I'll get it.
Please present it to the court.
I'm losing all the voices, they're different.
This is the Nickel Samurai.
See, I told you, that's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter.
Lotta's photo.
What does this all mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Uncard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume.
If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is...
the defendant.
Well, how did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Knight. The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against our client?
If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road there's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took. There's a tear in the pants, isn't there? I'm safe. Something strange with it. There's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right?
Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we can all agree there's nothing strange with this photo. There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster. Those are two different things.
Debunk with a bunker buster. Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Knight?
Anyway, please look at the photo one more time.
If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct?
Well... I had to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where the heck did she take this photo anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts? It's a bear camera.
Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange?
The bear! The strange is somewhere around here, I think. Somewhere? Ah, we failed.
Around here?
I think. I am seeing something you all are not. Am I seeing something that you all are not? Ah, jeez.
It looks like there was no problem with this photo after all.
The problem was with the brain of that lawyer, Your Honor. Oh, wait!
You are the one who let your last chance fly away from you, Mr. Knight. Guilty. That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial. Was there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant? This case is extremely clear. I see no room for this misinterpretation of the facts.
We'll load after this.
This court finds the defendant, Matt and God, guilty. The accused will surrender to the court immediately. To be held pending trial at a higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. This court is adjourned.
No.
Get the fudge out.
Alright. I thought this was torn pants. This is a wave. He's wearing gloves. He's clothed. The face? Let's go with the face. This person here, of course.
You mean the Nickel Samurai? And what is wrong with that?
At the time of the murder, Mr. On Guard was in his own room. Which means this Nickel Samurai is a If you think that's all it takes, you should reconsider your choice of occupation. I think it's about time you retired.
It looks like there was no problem with this photo after all.
The problem was with the brain of that lawyer, Your Honor. Wait! Ah, no! Alright, try again. Is that his crotch? Is there nothing strange with it? The gloves? The room? Around here, I think? I should have done a save before this, huh? The pants! Oh, so it is the pants, damn it! I would like to direct the court's attention to this area right here.
What are you pointing to? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't.
And? What does this mean?
The Nickel Samurai in this photo could not have been Mr. On Guard.
What is the meaning of this?
Court record. Oh, well, he's way taller. Yeah, okay, yep. Yup.
What is the meaning of this? I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts this time.
Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster. Huzzah! I just looked at that. Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the Hakama.
His socks. You can see his socks.
Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his Hakama up just by walking. Just to walk. This person's shorter. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Ow! Rebel. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only think that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack? Then he's not taking any damage?
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? The person in this photo is not met on guard. Then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless.
I thought it would come to this.
What?
Right, I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not met on guard. In that case, who is this a photo of? Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm?
Mr. Knight, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph?
Well, that's who we think it is.
Adrian Andrews.
If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it is none other than that woman. And why would you say it would be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short. And she can freely move in and out of Mr. Unguard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Unguard that night.
And how does that all add up?
That means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Unguard's fingerprints all over it.
The knife that was used as a murder weapon?
Why don't you just say what it is you want, Mr. Wright? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around. The defense motions to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Carrera. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime.
Order!
It's possible she came to kill him, but he was already dead through the choking.
It looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor?
This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony.
Alright, this is it. This is kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day? Oh! If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya!
Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court. Wait, raise an objection. We have no choice.
Now then...
Objection! Please, Your Honor. Continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today.
I can't do that. I have golf. Can I hear Miss Andrews if she is not?
Hold it!
I abhor wasting such a valuable time.
Edgeworth?
Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. But I'm hungry as balls. We cannot continue due to this unexpected development. Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. And what do you mean by that? That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. What? What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution lobby. She is the next witness. What? Everything was planned out in advance by that man.
Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over.
Exactly. Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witnesses in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. I am very hungry. Ugh. Maybe I'll have some pie. Alright, there you go. Jesus, that was a long freaking episode. Are you kidding me? That was like Gumshoe and the old lady. That can only be one episode. Like, I was really looking forward to Kickball, guys. No time now. Oh my god, wow. That was a long freaking episode. That was long. Are we really gonna solve this in one day? That was gonna go to another day? Holy crap. Damn. But for now, that right there is the game. I had fun. Hope you fun watching. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.